This is Eric Harris with Chief for Healing. And now that we are in cold and flu season, I wanted to share some Chinese herbal formulas that I have found to be very helpful for prevention of cold and flu and also treatment. So these kind of go in a progression, meaning that there's things that you can take for prevention and also stuff that you can take if a cold is, you get a little sniffle, a little sore throat, right, to help clear it out. And then there's stuff that you can take once that pathogen has gotten hold, and then even if it has gotten even worse, so it's gone to like flu and flu-like symptoms and fever and such, okay? So first two formulas I'm going to talk about, this one is called Guizhi Tong, okay, or cinnamon combination, all right? This is a traditional formula to help clear wind. In Chinese medicine, we talk about wind. There's internal wind and external wind, okay? And external wind is basically the pathogens and things that are outside our Wei Qi barrier. Our Wei Qi is basically our immune system, the barrier that surrounds us. And when our Wei Qi is penetrated by what they call evil winds, that's when the pathogens come in. The evil winds come in and invade us, right? So this is one of the main formulas for clearing wind. The chief herb is cinnamon twig. So cinnamon twig helps to bring energy to the extremities, whereas cinnamon bark helps to bring heat and energy to your core, okay? So you want the energy going to the extremities when you're clearing out a pathogen, okay? Also has peony root by Shao, which helps to strengthen the blood and tonify the spleen. Fresh ginger rhizome, shenjian, another very warming herb, helping to clear and strengthen. Jujube fruit, dai zhao, another one for building blood. And then it has licorice root, baked licorice root, zhigan kao, okay? Licorice root is a great harmonizer for all the other herbs, but it also has some antiviral and immune boosting properties, okay? So I take this one a lot as prevention. Like I'll take just like a couple pills a day just to prevent that wind from invading. Usually when it starts getting cold, especially if I'm spending a lot of time outside in the woods with my dog and stuff, and we have a lot of the fluctuation of temperatures, which is very normal in the world we're living in now. So going from hot to cold to hot, so this I find helps to really balance and regulate. So, and as a side note, the wind comes through the back of our head right at this point called gallbladder 20, okay? Gallbladder 20 is the wind gate, okay? So that's a point that you can work to help clear the wind. It's at the mastoid process of the occipital bone, okay? So you can also work that point. Also make sure you have a hat on or a scarf to help protect that wind gate. That's another way that even if you don't have this formula, you can help prevent the wind from invading, okay? So again, continuing on this spectrum here, as a progression, we have the antiphlogistic formula, okay? And the antiphlogistic formula is 3 herbs: andrographis herb, dandelion herb, and isatis root, okay? These are very cold, bitter herbs that are based and are super antiviral, antibacterial. And what this is for is if you have been exposed to someone that has been sick, okay? So say you're around someone that's sick and they cough on you, right? Or there's snot everywhere and you can't avoid it. Maybe your kids and this and that, right? This formula will help to prevent that. Basically, once you know you're exposed to a sickness, you take this and it'll help to prevent it from invading into your body, okay? So this is one you only take on those scenarios because this is a very cold, bitter herb. They're very strong herbs, okay? So, but they really work. I've definitely used this when I've had patients come see me that are sick, because that's part of what I do. I help people that are sick, and I've taken, these as a precaution and to avoid getting sick, and it's very helpful, okay? So continuing on that spectrum, we have Dispel Invasion formula, okay? Jingfang Bai Du San, okay? And this is one that similar to the Guizhi Wan, okay, that first formula, which you can also take if you have the sniffles and, maybe a little sore throat at the beginning of something coming on, right? That's another thing that you can do with this formula, by the way. Just want to reiterate that. This is another one too, dispel invasion. So it's like, if the antiphlogistic formula didn't work, or maybe you didn't have the antiphlogistic formula and you're really starting to feel something coming on, you're at those early Xiaoyang stages of sickness, okay? This can be really helpful to clear it out, okay? So this has worked a lot for my patients, and I've used it on myself too, along with this Guizhi Wang, to be like, oh no, feel the sickness coming on. I feel a little bit of a floating pulse here. My tongue is looking like a thin white coat, which is another indicator of a pathogen is starting to invade your body. You can take this, and sometimes you can coax it out so before it fully invades and takes hold, okay? So once that sickness does take hold, if that happens, right, you want to take a formula. This is probably the most popular formula that people know for sickness, colds and flu, Yin Chow, okay? The Yin Chow formula. And this is when you're really exhibiting a lot of symptoms, where you're having a dry cough or even a productive cough, sore throat, fever, redness, fatigue, swelling, in different areas, achy joints, a lot of the cold flu-like symptoms, just a lot of nasal discharge. This is more for a wind heat as opposed to a wind cold. There is another formula that I don't believe I have right now called Gan Mao Ling, which you can take if you have a wind cold or a wind heat. Those are the two main types of invasion. In a wind cold, someone is going to feel more cold. They're going to have more chill, right? That's an earlier stage of sickness, okay? And you're going to have a lot of nasal discharge, maybe a headache, and just lots of fatigue, stuff like that. Whereas the wind heat is going to shift more into, like I was saying, those fever-like symptoms, a lot of redness in the face, more dry cough, and just really kind of get into those really late-stage flu-like symptoms, okay? If you need something even stronger, you go with Zhongganling, okay? That one, there's less herbs in it, so there's a stronger concentration of each one of those herbs, okay? And that's like if someone has been really sick for a while with a really bad cold or flu, you want to take this to really blast it out, okay? Another thing that can happen that's very common is you can get infection, right? You can get bronchitis, you can get sinusitis, things of that nature, right? So there are formulas for that too. This one is called subdue headwind, okay? Subdue headwind is when the wind is trapped in the sinuses, okay? It's trapped in the head, really splitting headache, lots of pain in the sinuses, things of that nature. This is going to help clear that out and help clear out that infection and clear heat from the eyes, okay? With that green tea leaf and chrysanthemum flower, that is that most common combo that is used to help clear heat from the eyes. Fragrant angelica root, schizonepiда herb, Chinese mint herb, really helping to open up the sinuses, clear that headache, things of that nature, okay? Now, there are things you can take even stronger if you're having an upper respiratory infection, like bronchitis, things like that, even helping to treat with pneumonia and stuff, right? You can take Puji Zhao Du Yin. It's a very common formula for an infection in the upper burner, so basically from the lungs up, okay? Very strong, cold, bitter herbs. You would only want to take this when you definitely have those symptoms, okay? This was part of the protocol that we used to treat COVID, okay, which was Puji Zhao Du Yin, Zhen Wu Tong, which is a kidney formula that has aconite, which is the hottest of all the herbs. So really helping to strengthen the qi, open up energy, helping with fatigue, helping with lungs. So real bad asthma, deep cough symptoms, things like that. Zhen Wu Tong, great formula for. This is a kidney yang tonifying formula, okay? And then we also used Haojian Zhenqi San, Okay, that's a spleen formula, helping with fatigue, helping with energy level. Okay, so this was a combination that my teacher came up with, helping with COVID. He actually used another formula, a custom formula he makes too. I think it was formula 902, but I paired this with a very similar formula, and it seemed to work really well when working with patients that had COVID. Okay, so as I said before, there's a progression, ways that we can work with Chinese herbs, helping with various symptoms, getting the different stages of sickness, okay? So going for prevention to early onset of sickness invading the body, and then the progressive levels of the wind cold, wind heat, cold flu-like symptoms, and even helping to treat infection and things like that, okay? So so it's amazing that we have Chinese medicine to help support us with these things that we all get. None of us are immune to it. We all get colds and flus at some time in our life, especially the past few years, in this post-COVID world. So so just wanted to share some tools, some things that I've used to help with my patients, helping to clear away sickness and strengthen their body's protection. So so to find out more information about me, you can go to chiforhealing.com, and and I'm happy to support you with Chinese herbal medicine if you need it. My teacher is Dr. Ming Wu. You can find him on wuhealing.com, and you can find some information about what my lineage, where that's from. So, all right. So thank you very much, and have a great day.